Hey guys, this is Nick from Attack2Gone, and today we are going to go over some pre-Town Hall 9 hogging strategies. So at Town Hall 8, a lot of times we'll use mass hogs, so sometimes we'll have, 40 or more hogs on the field. However, at Town Hall 9, they usually have many fewer hogs, sometimes 20, sometimes 15. I don't think I've really seen any more than 25. And the reason that is because a lot of times they're using their other troops to form a kill squad. Because when we're dealing with hogs, we've got two main objectives before putting the hogs on the field. Well, three, really. First off, we need to kill what's in the clan castle, because otherwise it will decimate our hogs. Secondly, in Town Hall 9, you have to deal with the heroes. So if you can take out the Barbarian King, that's great, but your real target is the Archer Queen. You want her gone. Finally, if there are any giant bombs or potential double giant bomb locations, you want to try to either trigger them with your kill squad or remove the pathing across them to remove some defensive buildings, or, and this is a more advanced technique that I'm not good at, make it so that your hogs attack the giant bombs lengthwise. So let's say we've got giant bombs here and here. If your hogs come at the giant bombs from this direction, then they'll trigger both at once and they'll die. However, if your hogs come at it from this direction, they'll trigger one bomb at a time, and then that way you can put a heal around the entire area and your hogs are fine. So, we're trying to take out Clan Castle, Archer Queen, and then trigger any trap locations. So we're going to do the same kind of thing here. Now granted, we're not going to have a massive kill squad, but we'll walk through it in the video. So here they made it what I thought was a very easy trigger. I figured I could get a couple giants in here. They like having a lot of units in their clan castle, so just sending in a hog isn't good enough. You need to, hogs won't last long enough. So I was going to try to put a giant in here to trigger that clan castle, then poison them to get them out of the way. I love it when they have barbarian kings on the edge here, because then I could easily send another giant in this way to pull the barbarian king over the wall, put my own barbarian king in to take out the enemy barbarian king, and put in a couple wizards behind to back him up. So from Yi's raid on this, we knew for sure that there was a double giant bomb or a single giant bomb there, and that all of this area is free of giant bombs. So that tells us, and we have a Tesla here and here, so there's no room for giant bombs over there. That tells us that there are only several places where giant bombs could be. There could be a single giant bomb here, or there could be potentially a double giant bomb here, or a single giant bomb here. We can rule out this location here, because even if there is a double giant bomb there, it doesn't matter, our hogs won't path over it, especially if we can take out this cannon. And so really we just have probably a giant bomb here, because this clan doesn't seem to like doing double giant bombs, and then, maybe a giant bomb in this location. So how does that affect how we're going to do it? So that means that I want to try to trigger this giant bomb early so my hogs don't run into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in a couple hogs here. We're going to take out this cannon, and that gives us several good things. First of all, it triggers this giant bomb, and also it removes any pathing from up here. So if our hogs go in here, they're not going to try to run across if there is a double giant bomb there. Instead, they'll stick over to this side. So that helps us with one actual double giant bomb location and one potential one. Looking over here, there isn't a lot of room for spring traps, especially as our hogs go around this way. And if they hop in over here. So I decided to send over a larger contingent of hogs, because if I figured I wouldn't lose many to spring traps there. Then once I got hogs in the middle here, I could drop a heal to heal them up, and then while all of these defenses are targeting them, then I could send in hogs on the backside. So another thing that you'll often see at Town Hall 9 is they're a lot of times using a spell or two for the kill squad. So they'll use a jump spell a lot of times if the archer queen is deep into the base. Sometimes they'll use a rage, which means they're dealing with only 2 or 3 heals for their hogs on a much bigger base. So that means they need to use tricks so that they can optimize where they're placing their heal spells. So they'll usually place a giant in front, and we'll demonstrate that on my replay. And the giant takes heat from all the first line of defenses. So if we drop a giant here, then these guys are going to be distracted, and our hogs will have time to destroy them, which means our hogs are only taking fire from the back. Alright, so let's go to the replay. I've dropped a giant on the bottom, but it's just outside of the trigger zone. So I drop a giant and a hog, give the hog just enough time to pull all of the clan castle troops, and then I drop a poison. We will fast forward through that because poisons are rather dull. Then I'm going to come in to try to get the barbarian king. So I drop a giant to get his attention. I drop the barbarian king, drop 4 wizards. Notice I still have 2 for cleanup, and I drop my hogs to trigger that giant bomb and take out the pathing there. So I dropped a giant down on bottom and dropped a large mass of hogs there. I believe I put 10 or 15 hogs. And then I drop a heal spell. I probably could have put the heal spell a little more towards the north, but you know, you do what you can. So I drop a giant over here. I'm planning on my hogs tanking for the other hogs coming in the backside. There is a giant bomb there as planned. I'm a little late on dropping the heal spell on that side, but it doesn't really matter because our main contingent of hogs have survived. So they are working their way all around the base. And because I put the giants down and I didn't have to heal quite as early, I was able to completely cover the hogs that came in here. So as they worked their way around, I dropped a heal here, here, and here, which covered everything. Notice that we did trigger that single bomb there up in this corner. That's okay. You know, I lost some hogs, but the benefit of spreading your hogs out like this is if you are late to a heal spell or something like that, then you only lose 3 or 4 hogs if you're dropping 3 or 4 hogs on each defense. So anyway, this was a pretty successful attack. We're just doing cleanup, and so we'll finish it out. So hogging can be a really successful form of attacking, and I'll post another video soon on how to hog when you don't have a hero to do work for you. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Adios.